And hello everyone, and welcome back to another Let's Play of Post-ARR Final Fantasy XIV. My name is Myrokos, and today we will continue with the MSQ on my Black Mage job. And we get to do more stuff with the Ishgardians by the looks of it. Coming to terms. An influential Ishgardian wishes to meet with the Warrior of Light, and Alphino would like nothing more than to oblige him. Okay, well, that's a bit large, but okay. That is perfectly legible on the screen from what I can tell. Let's accept. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, Myrokos, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Amarok, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragon. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. We would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Amarok wishes to meet the man behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthus. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use. If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than with the thrust of a sword. Even though I'm a black mage and I literally just use a staff in a black mage. If I want to be a paladin, I'll use my paladin job and use a sword that way. So now I get to talk to Minfidia. And if you're having trouble with hearing me, etc., please let me know, so I can adjust whatever settings are necessary. A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador? By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alphino believes your presence may help him secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent. I take it Myrokos has explained the situation? He has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abalathia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the Eorzean Alliance, members of the original Eorzean Alliance, formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the Alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertear Skies. since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so, rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past. This time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think that they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Myrokos. Our old friend, Lord Hoshava, is expecting us. I like Hoshava. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand that you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. I have. Excellent work, thank you. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. My throat's a little dry. I need to hydrate. Okay. After just making sure that the audio settings and everything are working, we can definitely proceed apace with assurances that things are indeed. With that, we are off to Camp Dragonhead. Lovely. Complete blizzard whiteout. Hi, Horsefall. Ah, Myrokos, an ever-welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. If Alphino would actually dress appropriately for the climate, that would solve many problems. Ah, good Master Alphino. An honor as always. Why do I have the feeling that I was the only one invited and he just decided to show up? Likewise, Lord Horsefall. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid, as you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? Hasfortal may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand, Sir Emmerich arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your earliest convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and delirious to rest and desire delirious. Well, being out in the cold like that could make you delirious, I suppose. Especially with a whiteout and no idea really of where you're going without a map. Yeah, okay. And desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. Thank you. But if you are willing to forgo such comforts, pray inform the knights stationed outside the intercessory. I will grant you an entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your hearth sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. I'd like to just warm up for a moment. Personally, being a cat, I always like curling up in front of a nice warm fire. Oh boy. Okay, so you will find the entrance to the intercessory outside. It is around the corner to the right. Speak with the guard stationed there when you arrive, and when you are ready to begin the meeting. I see no reason to keep Sir Emmerich waiting, do you? Let us proceed to the intercessory. There, they seem to be just, trademark thing is over here. We have been expecting you. Pray take your ease inside and I shall summon the others. Alright, let's get in.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Commander Leveillard, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
And you, too, whoever you are.
I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. does it not?
Yeah, let it ride.
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Indeed.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
Probably because they need something.
It was not
from us.
only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Forton has offered to Revenant's toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Well, thank you.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury? All our precautions were for naught?
Would be useful. The intercession of saints. Recent developments have given Alphino much to consider. Since I've already got caster gear that's better than using. I've been getting the healing stuff, so I might want to go with that. Or 2 elegant silver pieces, 4,000 gil. Probably best to get the gear. Okay. Recent developments have given Alphino much to consider. Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with old Hoshapha and find out what he has learned. I'm come to hear Lord Hoshapha speak, not you. Okay? We must needs find the heretics, and no, it will not avail us. It will avail us not to rush. Let us hear what Lord Hoshapha has to say first, alright? My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. The Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. 'Twas an ambush swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. 'Twould be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route. Knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Hoshapha said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Myrokos. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Okay, so my men are conducting their own investigation at present. Follow the road south towards Mordana, and you shall find them and the wagon in due time. It takes but one pair of loose lips. True. I shall remain in Camp Dragonhead for now. Should you learn aught of interest, pray return at once. Right. And the whiteout appears to have ended. Good. Okay, just a cursory look. We have a smashed crate and definitely turned over wagon. Alright. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Eh? Lord Hoshafan bid you speak with us? Then you must be... Beg your pardon, sire. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure, even. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier to just steal it, though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. Reckon they came prepared, probably with wagons of their own hidden a way off, but pray pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis naught but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care at the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was here during the attack, not that his presence amounted to. Okay, so let's go find the survivor and have a chat. More or less. Was this second? Ah, there it is. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims, we marked them as lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same, else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek, and then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what happened until I saw the snow turn red. And then there was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head. And by the time I came to, the others were dead and the heretics were unloading the wagon. I mean, they'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. That decision likely saved your life, Squire, so I wouldn't be too harsh. I thought people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Who's Shiva? Wrong way. Welcome back, old friend. Oh dear, Alphino's looking this way. I do not think he likes to be ignored. No, he tends to butt in. It takes but one pair of loose lips. Ah, you have returned. What news have you for us? It seems the Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretics spoke of? Have you not read a single line of Enchiridion, Master... Enchiridion, Master Alphino? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scriptures so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saint of heretics. Wait, you say she is their patron saint? Saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Hoshafar, what was the caravan's cargo? If I recall correctly, the Diamond Forge had requested a rather large quantity of crystals. We have a summoning on our hands. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva as a base tribe or a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Hoshafar, you would agree that discretion is of paramount concern. Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alpha. The signs of the 7th Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threats. I will need to send word to my brethren in Revenant's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summon. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not miss this for the world. No, I tend to find myself in these fights anyway. He's left. Heretics, Dravanians, old familiar enemies. This is something beyond all imagination. Strength and unity. Woe betide the heretics who crosses Alphina Leviura, for they shall feel the full force of his fury. And what has he done so far other than ordered me? I'm still salty about that manservant comment. The persistent attacks on our caravans seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks, of course. Now they have my undivided attention. After apprising Minfili of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Myrokos, pray join me in Whitebrim Front. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of House Durender have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us to determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Drillamont, should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then. Good. It's mildly annoying that the kid isn't ordering me around when I've been assigned longer. Nearly overshot. Ooh. By what means do these heretics travel so quickly? We must know, or our every attempt to apprehend them will be doomed to fail. Commander Levia's assessment is troubling if he is correct. Iceheart now possesses a threat to Ishgard at large. Just so you know, my men have already started to arrive. Captain Ilbird always keeps a few braves at the ready in case of emergencies. The Signs of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Drillamont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak. That self-same frozen wall, which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to Whitebourne Front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interests to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Henry. And so it begins, my friend. Though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration, Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be a subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Drillamount has one in mind. Yes, yes. Excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. Dark words, dark deeds. Only the naive place all of their hope in the success of a single solution, and Lord Drillamont is anything but. This one. It seems as though we are always one step behind our quarry, ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the selfsame result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you have not forgotten Inquisitor Guillaume? No, the guy who tried to drive us out of town. But really wasn't actually him, because he's dead. Well, we have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, and has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent a similar breach of security in future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whitebourne Front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause, he will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir Jean Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which could endanger our plans. Sending his forces to White Front prior to his own arrival. Your commander is certainly decisive. Yeah, he tends to be very centered that way. See how the skies darken? Even the weather is against us. The Third and the Temple Knights have begun their search. All that remains is to wait. If the suspect shows himself to be a heretic, we will deal with him accordingly. For now, we shall merely observe and mayhap profit from his treachery. Alright. Now head downstairs. The suspected heretic leaves through the southwest gate. The suspected heretic follows the road east. The suspected heretic heads south. Okay. Hey, where in the Seven Hills are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duty is to the... Bloody echo. Lower your voice or they'll hear us in Whitefern Front. Yes, of course. The Tumble Knights are in the Snow Cloak. This is what you bring me? We already knew about our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, if you waste my time again, is that clear? So the heretics are amassing in the Snow Cloak. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? Yeah, they're hiding a snow cloak and preparing an ambush. I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation, and confident they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. First Blood. The Allied forces at Snowcloak are in danger, and Lord Drillamont would have you assist him in ensuring their safety. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passages, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingent of Huster and their knights are on patrol in that area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But, knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Halone is kind, we may catch the heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy. Thus, the lives of our allies are at stake. This does not bode well. Fallen heretics effects. Discovered on the body of a slain heretic. This yellowing document is covered in a complex code seemingly random letters and numbers. My knights sent no word of your coming, Myrokos. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Yeah, your knights are dead, and this was found. By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No, we have not the men to spare, not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not of sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of Temple Knights and Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durando must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. The path of the righteous. Lord Drillamont recognizes that the situation in Snowcloak is coming to a head and that decisive action must be taken. Time is of the essence, Myrokos, so while my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn. But all is not lost, not yet lost. If you leave now, there may still be time to make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emeric everything we have discovered. Sorry, had a setting thing or some such to deal with and wound up flying to Stone Vigil instead of Snowcloak. Right. Gods bless whoever designed this uniform. I would have frozen to death by now if it weren't for this greatcoat. Sir Amarik? He's over there, having words with the man. If you must, we shall speak anon. Yeah, Mr. I'm too busy to do anything. Stalwart Temple Knight. How could any man hope to tunnel through ice this thick? It would be the work of years. We are at a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. Myrokos, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover anything hidden. You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Leveilleur been informed? The Braves must be made aware. Well, I was going to tell him, but he... It must be here. I am certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it. This is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins, when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find pearls, and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! That's not... Yeah, that is not, Iceheart. Oh, that was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? No. Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. You must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Leveilleur. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that is not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. A moment, Alphino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we entered the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Ahem. Change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. If you encounter you venture into the unknown, so see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many or Papalino will suck. Oh dear lord. The entrance to the tunnel, sir? It's over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed. Per Sir Emmerich's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. Yeah. Already know that. And now we wait. Alien Hyperion. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the first time chat. And yeah, I am queued for Snow Clock. Yeah, and I have some stuff to sell. it looks like we have another caster of some sort. Let's see. Aeolian Hyperion, feel free to invite Daz. Who's Daz? Is that... oh, nope. Never mind. It just popped, so hopefully you get into the party, Aeolian. Sorry, but, thank you for the offer. Though if we're in the same party, no worries. But again, thank you, Aeolian, for the good luck wish. Nope. You didn't make the same party, so, well, good luck with your run. Still getting used to some of the buttons. Sorry about this. healers down. But we got this. Are these worth anything? Not sure if these are worth anything. I'm gonna pass because it doesn't look like it's gonna get me much. I think that pull was a little much. Well, the good thing with this is that you don't really lose much other than time when you die over and over again. By the way, Olean, if you're still watching, how's the audio? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Good to know. This is basically the first time I've streamed the game off of my new PC. I was on PS4 when I started, and I have no idea. I think I may need to change some of my button abilities, but yeah, here. But this is the first time I've actually dedicated a stream on the PC, so I'm getting used to the new overlay. The PS4 was just sleep does nothing. Yes, I do have a shield in there. No! Oh boy. It's no worries. What I have is I have a Logitech performance keyboard and Unity mouse that I'm using with the Bluetooth connection to the PC, and I'm using that keyboard for the keyboard settings. And I was using keyboard set up on my PS4. It's just, in terms of setting up to stream, the PS4 layout is just you enter your stream information, press go, and you're set. It's obviously a little bit different when you need to set up OBS, etc. And so that's a new thing for me with Final Fantasy here. Wrong one. Sorry guys, yeah, I think I need to change some of the key buttons. Just a few. I'm keeping asleep when I want to hit. That's better. Well, at least I'm relatively close. So this hurt. Ooh. Oh, and the healer's down. Oh, this isn't going to be good. This is a wipe. And we are just having... Oh, okay, I'm just gonna take the damage here. Yep. Thanks. I just didn't have the health to be able to survive that. I'll... Supposed to hide behind the one thing that doesn't send off things and then move once it offsets, say, crystal. Oh, no, don't, no, heal, oh, heal yourself. Okay. Got it. Oh. That was,
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
now who is this?
Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good.
Isn't that what we all say when we think we're on the right path? See all alternatives.
For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
She just noped out of there. Though I did not doubt that you would return, I am nonetheless relieved to see my judgment validated. 'Tis a blessing you are still with us. Commander Levier took to pacing in your absence. Oh dear. I kind of wish that he'd pace across the ice and then cave in. That took longer than I expected. What news, Myrokos? Yeah, Iceheart noped out of there using an etherite. So Iceheart is but a pseudonym. Not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised, Myrokos. We may yet turn this situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Oriange have been busy perusing the archives of Hasfartar, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. If he wore appropriate garments, he wouldn't be freezing. Sorry, he's freezing by choice. I have no sympathy for him. For the greater good. Though not given to small talk, Alphino can think of no better way to pass the time until Minfilia arrives. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Fortan. I trust your time there proved fruitful? Minfilia dresses appropriately. Why can't you, brat? And granted, my garb isn't necessarily, furry like this. It doesn't have fur lining, but it suits me fine. Plus, I've been running myself a lot, so yeah. And what has he been doing? Just quietly pacing? Would that it had. Urianger and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. Accounts of Shiva's life on one point. Okay, yeah, the mouse didn't let me move on. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins, according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortan. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or by design. Possibly a little of both. Maybe. I mean, there are always those people who want to omit those parts of history they'd rather not have other people know, so there could be some of that. And then some things the tomes just erode away. This is one of the reasons why papyrus and paper is such a temporary way of storing information. So you said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Yeah, she did. She used an ethering. Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emeric might take issues with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Emeric. Let's see, not just parse or paper, the very idea of written history is flawed for the most part. True, but I said parchment, or papyrus is what I said, which is what ancient Egypt used. They used papyri as the physical medium on which written hieroglyphs were documented. So that's what I said. I didn't say parse, I said papyri. We get more or less bias from what we make than what is told. True enough. Yeah. We are all the heroes of each our own story from our own perspective. And we generally don't see ourselves as the villain, per se. Unless you're really that type of person. Which I don't think any of us really want to be. Uh... Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, it was not the will of Helone that your ancestors came to this land. Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life of service to the Fury. Such a righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and Scripture tells us only so much. Truth. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being Good King Mughal the 12th. Please don't say that one's name in front of a Mughal. They will forever exalt him. The myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mughals' guard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Philia. They have them both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? Maybe. My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the aetherite Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another aetherite somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, they can only presume that she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlene may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking down the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Kurthos is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. Alright, Minfilia says yes, do it, I will do it. We do what Minfilia tells us. Good, I knew you would understand. Yuhase can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbird and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. Of course, I mount up to just walk a few paces. There you are, Myrokos. Commander Livier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nearly a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafan Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I shall be grateful if you were to join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said I do not earn my coin. Why do I have a feeling that that one always, only concerns himself with coin? Virtually every opportunity he talks about coin. Falls balls, my ankle is on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danafan Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be too hard to find. I have been in and out of Danafan Pass, so that should be no trouble. Tracks lead southeast. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast and... Yuhase? I think I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so did we too. Easy peasy. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost. Mind you, one tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. Curious that there's no body, but okay. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdrawing groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be waiting. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. I mean, honestly, don't you people hear of potions or something? But fine, if you insist. Whatever could this be? Oh, hello there. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those blue coats and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Yeah, and I'm standing right behind you. I'll stay with him, then, if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland. Sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Beauty. Yet your land ever thirst for the blood of the fallen. And by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the arts of interrogation. Damn it all. Okay. Fancy meeting you here. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite guardian spy may have been providing assistance to ISIL. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Mr. Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from recurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I will accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Yukiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Myrokos, let us wait inside for Captain Ilberd to return and deliver his report. If you like what you've seen and if you're watching this far, please consider giving a follow if you want to be advised of when you go live again. Uh-oh. Dragons are moving in. Captain Ilberd seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information in as to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity. I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Tendrils of intrigue. Alphino is eager to hear Ilberd's report on the Ivy. Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us not that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgarian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on shipments. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace the trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating, Ilberd, yes. Yeah, welcome back, Aeolian. Hyperion. Welcome. Where did you come back from? Yeah, by virtue of his role, he was privy to details of shipments, blah, 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 blah. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fertag. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to him. I think I can guess with which one. Yeah. None other, with a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least, but what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his cost? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. I am desperate, in a desperate bid to cover his tracks. The Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to a high-ranking member of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Robon's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flame's establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Oldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal one's mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so with the Flames. Oldaz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Robon faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nail Van Darnas's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Oh my goodness, Alphino, if you would quit rambling and get on with the point, you go from "I'm eager for this report" to taking so much time. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them airborne. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, I'll have the second attend to the unrest, third and fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other piles, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emerick informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully, the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. Time for what? An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Myrokos. As the realm's status champion, 'tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Well, I'm really not sure if I'm cut out for meetings, but if you insist. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Well, we could just try to attune ourselves to that aetherite and then go where the currents take us, but whatever. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort in securing an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go ahead to Gridania in readiness for the upcoming council. Meet me at Nefrika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Okay. So let's go to Gridania. Why am I going into the guild? Yes, it's a nice interior space, very homely, but this is not where I want to go. So but yeah, Ilberd. There's just something off with Yu Hase and Ilberd. Yeah, he's an old friend of Roban, but something just seems off. Oh, great. Oh, here he is again. Oh, what do you want? Unlike Roban, politics is not my cup of tea. While you and the commander attend to the council, I will attend to some business of my own. I mean, okay, but if that's the case, why are you here? Unless you have business in Gridania. My thanks for coming, yours. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus Stand. I mean, if Ilberd doesn't want to be here, you know, he doesn't have to be in Gridania. The Alliance leaders await you in the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Yes.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
Thank God it's voice acted.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
That was kind of disrespectful to spit on a coffin.
Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Okay, so that's that. It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means less and little to the common folk. Take the Laminsons, for instance. Though Admiral Merolib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swelling, wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, Gridanians are marked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Oldans scorned as swindlers who worship wine. Well, in all fairness, that's actually a pretty accurate assessment of each of the city-states. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Oldan society, Telegi-Legi, let's just shrink that, shall we? Society Telegi-Legi, for example, but that is besides the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartana is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. So were it not for the frontline stuff in PvP, the three city-states would be fighting amongst themselves, good heavens. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilberd has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Myrokos. All that remains is to corner our quarry, seek out Ilberd near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. So that's what he was doing in Gridania, but he didn't need to stand over here. Let's see, it's after 6 o'clock my time, and I've been going for 2.5 hours. I'll speak with Ilberd, and then I think I will call it a stream. I'm starting to get hungry and it's getting a little late. As a person who studied all three cities, he's 100% in the stereotypes. You mean Uberd, yeah, Ilberd, Ilbred, inbred, whatever you want to call him. Yes, I must eat. Yeah, and I also need to be available in case a relative of mine who had a medical appointment needs me to pick him up. And here he is. Let's get this over with, Ilbred, inbred, whatever. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Okay. And with that, I think I will call it a stream for now. If you liked what you saw, please give me a follow on Twitch. If you haven't already done so, that will let you know when I go live next. If you're watching this on YouTube, where I upload my streams, please give me a like, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Links to the gaming YouTubes are down below. If you're watching this on Twitch, gaming YouTube link is the one where I go and export my streams to. You'll see the full catalog of my stream experience so far. See you anon, friends. And take care of yourselves.